guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash of Clans. Today, we're going to talk about how to take down these ring bases at Town Hall 11. Now, I've done a few episodes before on these ring bases, but I feel like I gotta keep revising the strategies because things are changing. The last update really dramatically affected things at Town Hall 11, especially made things a lot more difficult. So, I'm bringing you a revised game plan on how to consistently 2-star these bases, and then how to 3-star these bases. So we're going to start out with a couple basic 2-star attacks. That way, you can get all those bases 2-starred pretty easily, and then you can work on your 3-star attacks. Now, all these attacks are going to be air attacks. We're going to start out with Dragons, going to move on to Penta LaLoon, but anyway, starting with the basic attacks, 2 ways to 2-star a ring base starting out this episode. And one of them, they're both going to be with Dragons, but one of them is going to be with taking down 2 air defenses using Zap Quake, basically making a nice funnel with the heroes for the Dragons to go directly to the core, bringing a rage spell for the core, and then using the Eternal Tome ability once they get to the core. Now, this is a pretty easy method. I mean, the number one thing though is make sure you nail that funnel. That's the number one thing that can go wrong here. You need your Dragons to get to the core of the base. You know what? I thought about maybe bringing a clone spell. That way, if maybe only 2 of my Dragons got to the core, I'd be able to clone them, but it's just not worth it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still not seeing any, and I mean any, usage of the clone spell in Clash of Clans. Are you guys? I mean, am I crazy? Is there some strategy that I'm not aware of that uses clone? I'll tell you, I mean, I think they need to just bump it down to 3 housing space. And it doesn't have to be 2, it doesn't have to be 4, it can be 3, a happy medium, just a little bit more expensive than your average spell, thus making it a little bit more risky than a traditional regular spell because obviously you're going to have to leave behind 1 extra dark spell in exchange for bringing that clone spell. I think 3 makes a lot of sense. I think that would probably fix the problem. So moving into the second replay here, I'm going to show you another variation. This attack is actually Dan's 2-star method that I've since borrowed because everything that Dan touches turns to, success. I was going to say turns to 3 stars, but that's not the case here. It's actually just turns into a successful raid. So in this war, I really needed this 2-star to pull off the victory for SAC Kings Elite, and I messaged Dan and I was like, hey man, Dragon attack. I know it's a stupid basic attack. I can't believe I'm asking for strategy advice on a 2-star, but I absolutely need to nail this 2-star. So we looked at it and he's like, easy man, this is a dragon attack. It's written all over it. So I am going to go ahead and Zap Quake 1 of the air defenses, and then I'm going to send my heroes into that Archer Queen, taking down another air defense, and then I'll funnel all my Dragons in a big clump all around 9 o'clock in the westernmost part of the base. So that's the game plan. Let's go ahead and press play and see how I did it. So again, gonna start out with the wall breakers, get my heroes in there, well, as soon as I Zap Quake that air defense. So now the northwest air defense is a non-factor, it's off the board. I still have 2 free spells. I love this spell composition here. A golem in the clan castle, gonna wait till my wizards clear out all the distracting buildings along the outside, send in the wall breakers, and entry is now open. Wanted to make sure, obviously, that wizard tower was not gonna lock onto my wall breakers there, snuck them in just at the right time there. And you'll see if we zoom on in here, I'm gonna get the enemy queen down, also gonna have plenty of HP and firepower there to take down that air defense. In my Dragons here, I deployed only 1 dragon per building. You don't need to clump them up any more than that. Make sure there's a nice, decent, 2 or 3 square spread, especially between your funneling Dragons. Now you can see I'm clumping up my other Dragons a little bit more because that's gonna be essentially my, I don't know, kill squad? I don't know, my Dragons that get to the core. That's going to be my main attack force of Dragons. I'm going to trickle in my last 2 Dragons there, helping out the queen a little bit with that CC. Enemy CC was 3 baby Dragons. Hate the 3 baby Dragon CC. So a little bit of help for the queen. Now I have my Grand Warden kind of lingering with the Dragons, which is good. That's good times. And then a couple Dragons are going to veer off to the north, but pop the Grand Warden ability, drop the rage spell, drop my first freeze, and you can afford to be a little bit early early on that first freeze because you have 2 of them. That's why I like 2 freeze spells. Look at all the bang for my buck I'm getting with the freeze guys. Eagle Artillery, frozen. Inferno Tower, frozen. Maybe if I dropped it a little bit further south, I could have got that Tesla as well. Either way, don't really need it. A nice, easy 2-star attack against a ring base. So the reason I'm bringing you these 2 to start out the episode, I know some of you are like, dragon attacks, really, Ash? You have fallen off, my friend. But you know what? It's much easier to 2-star these bases, in my opinion, with dragons now, especially if you have level 6 dragons, than it is trying to, orchestrate a perfect funnel for like Valkyries or something like that. So wanted to start with that. Now let's move into a little bit more advanced techniques against different types of ring bases. So this was from last war here, and this was like one of my only 3-star attacks using LaLoon in the last year. So I hate to show this and pretend that, oh, I'm doing this every war, guys, no big deal. That's definitely not the case. Kind of got lucky here. Well, maybe not lucky. I actually copied a failed attack or a 1-star attack by Skeeto, and I thought he had a brilliant, brilliant game plan. So I made a few minor adjustments, and I was able to pull off a very successful 3-star attack. So there's a Lava Hound in the clan castle, and that's absolutely key here because it's not going to be triggered. My queen is going to die after she takes down the enemy queen, and then right after I pop the ability here, I'm going to start sending in the Lava Hounds. The first Lava Hound playing distraction basically on that first air defense. Second Lava Hound, basically what you want to do is no need to send in more than 1 Lava Hound at a time to begin with. You want to trickle in the Lava Hounds, send in the balloons behind the Lava Hound using it as a tank. You want to use your haste spells around the perimeter of the base. You can see the next Lava Hound coming in, rage spell towards the core, haste spells towards the perimeter. I'm working my way counterclockwise around this base right now. Here comes another haste spell at 3 o'clock, right about in a second. If I didn't pause, there it is. And you can see all the balloons still alive, doing well. My last Lava Hound is coming in from around 2 o'clock, backed by a few balloons. Now, these are the changes that I made to the raid from Skeeto's raid. I used a few more of my balloons during, this portion of the raid, coming in from the north area, and then I used the haste spell a little bit earlier, the freeze spell a little bit earlier, and the rage spell a little bit earlier as well. So some minor adjustments. I also used the Grand Warden ability at a different time, so you kind of combine all that together, and I made those small adjustments and was lucky enough to have success. Now, my Lava Hound does not pop here, so although there is literally like a minute and 30 seconds left on the raid, these are fast-moving raids, so even if something like that happens, your Lava Hound doesn't pop, there's still plenty of time. I only had, I think, 1 archer and 2 minions to help with the cleanup, so I deployed the minions right away. If you go back and watch, I deployed the minions around 3 o'clock as soon as I deployed my Lava Hound and balloons, but was able to pull off the 3-star victory. Felt pretty good, especially considering I made probably the biggest mistake of my entire Clash of Clans career during that same war. Oh my god, guys, have you ever done that? Has anybody ever done this? Please tell me that I'm not the only idiot in the entire world. What I did was, I was all prepped to go. I had that army. I was ready to execute that raid that you guys just saw, and I accidentally clicked on the wrong base. I always usually click scout first and then attack. This time, unfortunately, me just being a real dummy went right into the attack, and I had absolutely no clue what I was going to do. You can kind of improvise with like a bowler attack or any kind of ground attack. It's not too difficult to improvise and do your best, but with a Penta LaLoon, without even looking at the base, well, you know what? It takes a better player than I to have success, and I end up having a 38% 0-star before that attack. Luckily, I was able to redeem myself attacking the correct base afterwards and getting that 3-star. But anyway, I'm blabbing all over Dan's attack here. So Dan starts this attack. He's 3-starred this base on my channel probably about a half dozen times now. If we see this base with the heroes kind of clumped together towards the bottom, the clan castle all by itself to the top, at this point, he could probably do it with his eyes closed. He's attacked this base so many times. Essentially, what you want to do is go in towards one of those compartments where he started the raid with both of your heroes, take down the enemy heroes, and then work your way around again counterclockwise. Now, it's very important to trigger that clan castle. Usually only takes 2 balloons. It's nice and easy. You send it down south with the heroes, they take care of it, and you're good to go for the rest of the raid. Now, obviously, what you're doing is very similar to the attack that I just shared. You're working your way counterclockwise around the base, obviously remaining cognizant of the direction that the air sweepers are facing. Sometimes you might have to go clockwise instead of counterclockwise, but you can figure it out, guys. You guys are all smart out there, and hey, wishing you guys a heck of a lot of luck with this attack. I still want to get Dan on the channel soon to really break down the planning and the minutia that goes into one of these successful 3-star attacks, so stay tuned for that. And before I let you guys go, a couple more YouTube recommendations for you guys, since you guys have been so amazing on the first recommendations. You guys really visited these channels in droves, said you came from Ash, so be sure to check out JuDo Sloth and Clash Attacks with Joe. They're both my alliance mates in Clash of Clans, both really genuine great guys, so be sure to check them out, show them a little bit of love. They have mostly daily uploads, all for Clash of Clans. So guys, thanks so much for watching, really means a lot to me, and as always, take care, guys.